All right, good evening, everyone. Please, can someone confirm that they can hear me? I said good evening. Please, can someone confirm that I'm audible?
Yes, from my end, you're very audible, and I can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. So without further ado, good evening, everyone. You're all welcome to today's Jiipcc Pro Bono session. My name is Dennis Williams, and I'll be your moderator for today. I'm the program coordinator at Jiipcc, and without further ado, I would just like to give a brief insight into what Jiipcc is all about and what we do before we properly start the session. Jiipcc, just an overview of what Jiipcc does. So Jiipcc is an academic consulting and legal firm dedicated to delivering specialized service to students, clients, and partners worldwide. At Jiipcc, we train, impact, and transform lives, actively preparing and positioning Africans for the future. So far, we have mentored over 850 students, young professionals, and startups across more than 10 African countries. The Jiipcc Pro Bono session is a free consultation that provides free legal guidance to individuals and businesses. Please take note that this session and any advice gotten from the Jiipcc professional team does not constitute any form of specific or varied legal consultancy or legal advice in any form whatsoever. Jiipcc will not be liable in any form or manner for actions taken afterwards. Therefore, individuals are advised to seek further legal counsel or consult us for a proper legal advisory referral or seek legal advice from their preferred lawyer. All right, so that is just a brief insight and overview into what Jiipcc is all about and what we'll be doing today. Right, so welcome once again to today's pro bono session. I'm sure we are all ready and set to have a very interactive session. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of counsel that will be coming forth from our professionals that, okay, I can see a few professionals are already on the call, right? So just moving forward, not to waste any of our time, I would just like to read the summary of of our clients that we have today. All right, so our first client for today that will be taking is Mr. Bekwa Undi. Sorry if I did not pronounce your name very well. I'm so sorry about that. So thank you. I can see that you're already here with us on the call. Thank you so much for joining. Right, Mr. Bekwa Undi, please, I would like for you to, as time proceeds, when I give you the opportunity to please give me or help me with the correct pronunciation of your name. So Mr. Bekwa is the co-founder of Green Potential Green Energy Startup, Business Environmental Law. As a startup, he is faced with a lot of challenges in the markets and even with the board of directors. And these challenges have arisen because he lacks substantial guidance from professionals in the legal space, and thus he needs and seeks advice. Mr. Bekwa, if you are with us, I would like to kindly request that you turn on your video. Okay, your video is on. I also like, if it's possible, to have everyone who is currently on this call turn on their video so that we can see you and then we can know that we are who we are engaging with. So please, if you can, I would like to just employ us to please turn on our video so that we can see you. So thank you, Mr. Bekwa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing to come on this session to seek legal counsel. So I would like to give the floor to Mr. Bekwa. Right, if there are further details you would like to share with us, and then I'll leave the floor open to our professionals so that they can give legal counsel to Mr. Bekwa. So Mr. Bekwa, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. I don't have any issues with my name being pronounced because I'm used to not having a name pronounced properly. It's a very strange name, but it's Undie, right? I guess my parents didn't, or my grandparents or the owners of the name didn't add H to the end for correct pronunciation, but it's still okay. It's no big deal. Yeah, I'm the co-founder of GreenPX, like you rightly said, and with me here is Mr. Paul Okim. He's the CEO and founder of Green Potential. For short, we call ourselves GreenPX because that's what we are known by. And our flagship product, GreenPX, also like what we are recognized by. So yeah, we go by GreenPX. So pardon me if I mix Green Potential and GreenPX. It's kind of, we are trying to refer to ourselves, right? So I think I would just let Mr. Paul Kim say hi, then I'll continue. Mr. Paul.
Good evening, everybody, and I'm very, very happy to be here.
Mr.
Thank you.
Paul.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. So I don't know if I'm to just give a brief intro as to who we are and what we do, or do you have some information? But I'll just like to mention that we have a couple of questions, to accompany what I already submitted to you, and hoping that you get the best advice possible and maybe support if need be. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bekwa. So I would like to give the floor open to is we are going to be having more of an open conversation, right? So I would like to give the floor open to our professionals, who I'm sure you guys have also read through the case that was sent to the group. So please, those who want to address the issues as pertaining green, sorry if I'm not mistaken, green potential, please, the floor is yours. You can just kindly unmute yourself and we'll do well to receive your input, right? I'm sure Mr. Paul and Mr. Bekwa, if you have any further inquiries as to you need further information from Mr. Paul and Mr. Bekwa, I'm sure that they will be willing to provide those information. So please, the professionals we have on the call, the floor is yours. If you can, I would like to hear from us. Please, this particular session, this particular consultation for our clients, these current clients is 20 minutes. So I would like us to do that as quickly as possible so that we can move on to the next client. So please, our professionals, the floor is yours. Please, we would like to hear from you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can anybody hear me?
Yes. Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am. We can hear you.
Hi, so sorry, I'm not in an environment where I can currently turn on my video. My name is Becky. I'm a legal professional, a lawyer. So I wanted to ask if the Mr. Bekwa can give us more information. From what I see on the group, it's not very detailed on what he seeks legal advice on.
Okay, sure. I was expecting that because we need to be specific about the actual issues that we're facing, right? So um, we are about four of us that are stakeholders in the company. We started the company up last year, officially as at July, and for a startup, at the beginning there's the energy you get and things are moving smoothly and all of that. But over time, we figured out that out of four of us, about two of us are kind of not really putting in the energy that was there initially, and it has become a big problem. It's as bad as not attending meetings and all of that. And there are lots of resources that we invest into try to put the company together, including time, including finance, and all of that. But the major issue we're facing at the moment is the fact that we have people that are like, what I call them, sleeping stakeholders, and it's a problem. We have documents that we've signed, we have agreements and all of that, and it's not fair that at the end of the day, there's sort of equal shares going to both those that are sleeping and those that are active. So that's like the major issue, right? And we are seeking ways to or advice to know what best to do in situations like this. So that's the specific issue. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Becker, for giving us more insights and more clarification into the particular issue your company is facing. So, Ms. Becky, if I would like to still hear from you, do you have any insight or any take on that? And the floor is still open to our other professionals. Do we have contributions? So we'll just take it in accordance. And please, I would like for us to have more coordination. Please, if you have or you want to raise a point, you can kindly indicate by raising your hand or just using an emoji so that I can give the floor to you and you can take over. So please, do we have any professional who wants to take the floor? All right, I can see a hand up. So Mr. Joseph Obo, right? Good evening, sir. You're welcome. Please, we would like to give the floor to you to for your own counsel. So thank you very much.
I'll be very brief. It would have been nice to know if to see the agreement that Mr. Bekwa talked about. Then he also mentioned stakeholders. Are those stakeholders, are they shareholders, or are they just directors? Like, what is the extent of stake that they have in the company? You know, that's also very important because company that details that. Then, is this a case of maybe the shares are vested in a way that they have to carry out certain activities for them to come into that, for them to come into express ownership that would require them to benefit on a maximum level. So there are actually agreements that people or maybe startup founders enter into that are detailed in a way to make sure that, you know, those who are working are earning and those who are not doing anything, you know, are also not earning. And at the same time, over a period of time, that could be a means by which they can also be shown the way out of the company and things like that. So it would be nice to know if you have like a concrete agreement that, you know, that takes into consideration this kind of a scenario. Because if you don't, if the agreement is just like an all-comers enjoyment salon, where the Japanese are working and those that feel that, you know, they don't necessarily have to put in anything, they're also going ahead with that and they still take the benefits at the end of the day. So that would not necessarily make sense. So you may need to have that conversation with them, where possible, you may need to tie up loose ends in that regard. And if they are not interested any longer, they can just say so clearly. Then you can reallot your shares or you hold back those shares to the company and maybe you bring in more serious people that basically know what they are doing. So you may need to have a vested clause on your documentation and a proper shareholders agreement, you know, that details who gets what, when and how, and also has provisions for people that might intend to exit. Even though they don't intend to exit, you can have a clause that says if certain scenarios take place, that is like an indication somebody has put himself up to exit from the company, you know, things like that. So I think I'll stop there for now.
So please, I think he asked if some of the members, they are directors, the particular positions that they hold as stakeholders, right? Can you just give clarity to some of the positions those stakeholders hold within the organization? Mr. Becker, can you hear us? You're muted, please.
Dennis, are you there? We can't really hear you. Quick, or is it my network?
Okay, please, can anyone hear me?
It's actually tough to hear.
I can hear you.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I think it's on my end. The network issue is on my end. Sorry about that. So, Mr. Becker, we're asking. Okay.
Maybe the next person who wants to speak can just
Yes, all right.
make use of her comments also. So I can see that the maker's hand is up. Please, you can unmute and speak or thank
All
you.
right.
Well,
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Bekwa, it's great to meet you and great to hear about your company. I would align myself with Joshua. Or is it Joshua that just spoke? I don't know if I'm getting the name right, but the person that spoke before me, it's the agreement that you have entered into with these people that would bind, your reaction to their reluctance to contribute, both in, kind and in time to the development of your company. So yes, let us see those agreements. Let us see the roles of these people, and let us see what what it was or what was agreed that would happen where these people fail to deliver on those responsibilities. I think that this is where this is how we can move forward. And if your agreement does not specify, right, I believe there is a body of decision makers within the company. Sit, like the last speaker said, sit and make resolutions. Sit, make resolutions, and determine what would happen to those who have not been pulling their weight, right? It might mean, some of these people may be shareholders. That means, they have deposited monies in exchange for the shares of your company. It might mean that you may have to buy them out. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. It might mean that, you might have to, even if not buy them out, but just, reduce the portion of their shares and allot it to, or hold it in trust really for future members of the company or future investors, right? But until we see the operating agreement, we see the relevant agreement, we don't know who these people are and what their roles and really what it might be that they are not doing anything because there's nothing concretely written that they should do, or nothing in black and white stating out, spelling out their responsibilities. So let's see these documents like the last speaker said, and perhaps we can also take it from there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibika. So, Mr. Becker, back to you. I see your hand up.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm raising my hand because so far what we have is only a memorandum of association. We don't have a shareholder agreement. So yeah, we are lacking in that part. So I feel like for I don't know what I would say, but I think what we have detailed responsibilities and all of that on the memorandum of understanding. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to go through and understand the way our tasks and activities are allotted amongst all of us. But we are lacking a shareholder agreement so far.
Okay, well, that could be a starting point, right? That could be a starting point because I don't know who incorporated, but it's sometimes activities and duties of members are usually specific, not the generic types. Specific duties of shareholders and officers of the company are usually incorporated. But I think the memorandum is way too. You might have to go a step further and create more agreements or draft more agreements that would bind you, especially at this stage of the company, especially at this stage. This is a very important stage. And, those that seek to eat the profits in the future must put in the work now. So, perhaps, like I said, let's see the content of the memo. And perhaps that would lead to our advice on, the active members. Perhaps, calling for a meeting would bring them out of, hibernation. Calling for a meeting to discuss, respective rights and responsibilities, we will bring them out of hibernation. But let's see the content of this memo first, before we can, deliberate further.
Can you hear me?
If your hand is up, I think Becky Dice hand is off. If you can just go ahead and thank you.
Okay, thank you. I can't really
Hello.
hear.
Becky,
Okay, so I wanted to add, yes, please. My name is Becky. I wanted to also add, in addition to everything that the speakers have said, I wanted to also know what steps you have taken so far. Have you tried to have a session with them, maybe a mediation with the other shareholders and directors, these ones that you say are not putting in the work? What steps have you taken so far? Because I understand that this is, you all came together to form this company, right? And the idea was that, you put in the work to scale the company and to make sure that it succeeds. So how have you dealt with it so far? How have you tried to bring their knowledge to, they are part of the responsibilities and what they've not been doing to help scale the company so far? Have you tried mediation? Have you tried having a conversation, a discussion with them? Have you tried to bring them to the table to discuss, and also fuel the initial desire that was there from the onset? Have you tried any mode of dispute resolution?
Thank you very much. So yes, we have. Myself and the CEO, we've kind of tried our best. We've called for meetings. We've written memos stating all of this. We've even gone as far as trying to, I don't know how to put it, but I'll say trying to ensure that we put in our best to see if it would make them change, something like that. But it's not really making any difference. Like we've gone as far as ignoring the fact that some people are not really active and trying to put in the best that we can into the company, thinking that okay, doing this would maybe revive this, but it's not really working. So yeah, we've done most of that.
Okay. If that's the case, then I, like all the other speakers say, align myself with them that you need, proper legal consultation, in the sense that you need a lawyer to look through the agreements or the memorandum of understanding that you have, and also maybe try to see how you can mediate between a lawyer, a third party now, which will mediate between you all and explain the intention of this memorandum of understanding that you have between yourselves. It's not just, create a company and then go to sleep. There's a reason why you created a company. So a mediator would also help to, bring all parties back to the table and help them understand the reason, the reason why the company was created, and also the agreements that everyone has with each other, before them proceeding to maybe other modes of, taking them out of the picture entirely.
sorry, Dennis, we can't hear you.
All right. I don't know why, for some reason, network my audio is quite bad. Please, can you hear me now?
Maybe you try logging out and you log back in. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so while we wait for Dennis to be back, I think we can move to the next person. Thank you very much, Mr. Bekwa. We can move to, so let's see if Mr. Olayinka here, Mr. Olayinka Sobola. Mr. Olayinka, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Alvin, Mr. Abraham. Do we have any of them present? Hello, can anybody hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you very well, ma'am.
Okay, so I just to mention some names. So, do we have anyone here present? Um, Mr.
Mr. Abraham, I
Olaika,
can see your name now. Can you answer us? Mr. Abraham is here. I can see his name, but he's not answering. Maybe he left the phone.
maybe.
It's not Mr. Abraham, it's Mrs. Abraham.
Okay,
All right.
Mrs. Sorry.
Can you go ahead to share what you do and how you like the professionals here to help? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, sorry. My name is Oluwatomisin Abraham. So I'm a real estate consultant, and I'm thinking of starting up a tech-enabled way whereby people can pay for their properties online. That's on an application, and then they can monitor these properties that they are paying for and the development of how far their money has gone. It's like a savings investment fund. Yes. So you pay for your properties instrumentally, and then you check for each of the amounts you deposit. It's the application gives you a notification of what kind of property your money can buy at that moment. And when you are okay with the amount you've been able to put on a monthly basis, then you can probably transfer it to the real estate company that is registered on the application. So that's just basically the idea, if I'm making sense. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very much for
Yes.
sharing. So, do we
Yes,
have
can I
anyone
mute now?
comment? Yes, you can. Thank you.
To Mrs. Abraham, just a question. I'm curious. Apart from those looking to buy real estate, like who do you think are the relevant stakeholders in this kind of business? Like I'm trying to get the full picture, right? Is like the real estate company serving as an intermediary between the owners of the properties and the buyers, or like,
Yes.
and how how would the company take care of documentation, right? Especially concerning the fact that documentation is like,
the idea is to go through. Sorry, I'm located in Abuja, so the idea is to go to the Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria. They have the list of maybe most accredited real estate companies that have access to they have verifiable properties.
Okay, so you are doing this in conjunction with the Real Estate Association of Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the plan, to go through the Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria. But if that is not possible, I will be needing a legal service to do background check of individual developers that will be listed on the application.
Okay. Thank you.
We can partner. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah. So I'm just thinking that are you operating like, are you receiving deposits, then you warehouse deposits that are received up till a future time when the savings, like are you operating like a savings platform, where people continue to make contributions, they keep making contributions. When the money gets to a sizable amount, then they can now deploy those funds towards maybe purchasing the real estate land or property as the case may be. Because if that is what you intend to do, if you want to operate like an escrow platform where you warehouse people's deposits, are you a deposit bank? Like, are you running? Because what I'm seeing financial services.
Okay, so I'm not a deposit bank, but from brainstorming over time, I realized that There's no way I will have to go through a maybe financial technical, be fintech agency to establish the way they make these payments. Actually, if I can eradicate the way the banks, anything that has to do with bank, if I can eradicate it, I don't mind. So the money will not be paid to us in such a way whereby the money will be paid to a trust fund, but in their name, and then they have the autonomy to transfer to whichever real estate company they want to buy from.
Because from what I'm seeing, I'm already seeing like, depending on how maybe put up the structure, you may have to think through the entire process, that because it looks like you want to I don't want to use the word circumvent, but you want to avoid other regulatory, because you're delving into real estate, IT finance, a mixture and all that. So it would be nice to really know what, because you've mentioned the trust now, so it's like there are a lot of layers in your interaction with the stakeholders that you might intend to engage with. So that entire system has to be ironed out, just in case of maybe liabilities might come out, there are liabilities one way or the other. Maybe something goes wrong. Like, who takes responsibility? Is it you? Is it your platform? Is it the trust fund? All of these relationships, the interplay between all the relationships has to be clearly defined, so that you can, as an individual, or better yet, as a company, you can be able to guide, you can be able to play in that space without getting bonds in terms of liabilities and all of that. That's just basically my thinking. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. But
yes, I understand your concerns.
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand your concerns. I have actually thought about it, and I needed to go and find out how these financial, technical operation, financial institutions operate, like this online loan apps and the likes. And I don't want it to be any way in line with those type of demo. I just want a situation whereby we connect the buyers, the people that are intending to buy a property, a piece of land at the moment, who don't have the full money at once, connect them to potential real estate companies that are willing to buy, to take instrumental payments. They will be listed on the app, and then the people, once they see the kinds of property on listed down, they can keep putting the money in that threshold fund. So my only issue, and where I have not been able to demystify, is where the money would be going to before they can be able to effect the payment to the real estate company. That's just the only problem there. Hello.
Yes, I think the last speaker is trying to tell you that, it would involve a lot of players, especially regulatory,
Bodies, yes.
bodies, a lot of them, because what you're saying is that you're dealing with land,
yes,
the land
and
registry.
houses.
Exactly.
Yes.
Land registry. Well, let's just wrap it up as the government generally. You're dealing with taking people's money and keeping them pending when property and purchases can be made. You are essentially like a deposit taking organization or body. You are also dealing with most likely allocation, right? So it would be
allocation. The allocation will be the real estate company on their own once they confirm each payment.
Okay, but you also mentioned working with the real estate association.
Yeah,
right?
They provide me with a list of companies that we will be selling from.
Okay, that you would be selling from.
Yes, that will be on our platform. So if I'm allowed to paint a scenario, I log online, and then I see the list of real estate companies, the price range, the potential for how much they would become maybe in the next 6 months to 2 years to 3 years. So I can pin it down that I'm bidding for this. It's like a bid, but I don't want to use the word bidding. Okay, I'm vying for this particular property, which is 7 million, and can I have the option to pay in the next 1 year, 6 months? So if I can afford the payment, I make that initial deposit. And for the kind of property I have picked, then a notification will be sent to the real estate company. Everything just technology inclined. This just saves us from going from one place to another, to go to one office to another. They see it, they see the notification, they know that there's somebody that is already on their property. So that property should be reserved. So we don't have issues of back and forth of allocation or not. If you get what I'm trying to
I
picture.
get what you're trying to say, but like we asked, the other, do you have maybe like a business proposal or something written, a document that that explains this
Yes,
model?
I have a business model, but yes, I do.
Okay, I think
if I
that
can
would
send it.
really, okay, send it to I think the facilitator. I don't know if you have their mail, so that something
All
that
right.
we pour over and get clarity on the exact model type and how it aims to carry on its business.
All
I
right.
think this would help.
All right, thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, can you all confirm that you can hear me now?
We can hear you, Mr. Dennis, loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much. So, Ilyasu Dauda, right? I guess I can see your hand up. Please, is there any contribution you would like to make?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Good evening, we can hear you.
All right. From what she said, I can understand. Yes, just like our other professional said, also, she's dealing with different regulatory bodies, and from one perspective, if I could maybe give her a suggestion, although she's sending the business plan so that we can further review it, and why not on her platform, she displays while she liaises with the real estate agencies, and she displays them on her platforms. Yes, anyone who wishes to like purchase those is it land or maybe property, then once she connects the buyers with the real estate listing agencies, or once she connects the buyers to the agencies, then she from there she gets her commission from the agencies, and then the buyer and the agency to complete the transactions without going further, because I understand her issue is where the money should be saved, or where will the money being deposited to be kept before until it reaches the amount of the property.
Yeah, in fact, what you just said has brought a lot of further clarity in my opinion. I feel that what Kazuma basically, like he just said, let's so that you don't take up too much, because there are already some real estate companies that have these payment plans and all of that. So if you want to do something within that particular space, bridging the gap, when you remove that finance component and you throw that responsibility back to the companies, it will save you a lot of regulatory headaches here and there and all of that, because I'm already seeing that trying to plug that problem and fix it, it's also going to be like a business cost to you as as a company, or even as an individual, as the case may be. So it might make some, while you are brainstorming and all that, you might want to consider what he has just said in terms of having to just be the link person, because I believe that there's a huge market for all these properties that people pay in this. There's a market for it. So let your focus be connecting people on the basis of the pre-existing market for people that want to pay, in installments and all that, so that people can remember your platform as if you want to do instrumental payments for real estate, this is the go-to person. But in terms of warehousing funds, if you can pull yourself out of that, it will really save you a lot. Regulatory wise, you will now will not be thinking of finance anymore, because the companies themselves will now have that burden of having to do the calculations, knowing when payments are due, all of those things. You stay clear of it. You now know that, okay, clients that have like the whole instrumental payment arrangement, you can now take them, lead them to those companies. But in the same vein, it would be nice for you to have like maybe a small legal thing that verifies the properties in question, so that you don't leave somebody to a real estate developer that does not have a good title on his property, and at the end of the day, people now start dragging you, like, maybe you led me to go and pay for a property somewhere, and at the end of the day, the property does not necessarily exist, or the title is defective. So there might still be a lot of thinking around what you intend to do and the best way to go about it. But personally, I feel that it's a very great idea, and it would be nice to know how you go, and it's a nice one actually. But this is just my submission. Please.
Thank you to also our other professionals that shared their insights on this particular matter. And thank you, Ms. Abraham, for also sharing particular issues and challenges.
So I can't really hear Dennis. I don't know if he's speaking. I think that we've deliberated on this for a while. Sorry, someone trying to speak.
Yes, it's me. Can you hear me?
Your volume seems to be very low. Okay. But can the rest of you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's see if the other clients are here, and if they are not, then we can round up for today. Please, for everyone who is here, you can just send a message later with your full name so that we can acknowledge you properly. You can put it on the WhatsApp group or respond to the email that you were part of the meeting. So I would just look for, please, do we have any other clients here who you have not attended to their case? Okay, so Mr. Olainka, are you here? Mr. Joshua, Mr. Alvin, Mr. Olainka, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Alvin. Do we have them here? Okay, okay. Okay, so if they are not here, because Mr. Olainka said he will be joining back in another 5 minutes, but I won't want to keep us waiting if he's not here. All right. So thank you very much for joining. I think that we've been able to touch on two very good cases for today. Please, if you know of people who might be interested in participating as clients or professionals, you can direct them to us. And I think this is a good platform to also give back from the practice that we have currently. So thank you, everyone, and have a lovely evening. Please, if you don't mind, kindly just send your name, your full name to us so that you can be acknowledged properly. Maybe after the meeting, you can just paste it in the WhatsApp group or send it as an email. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dennis, also for moderating, and thank you to everyone who joined and shared their perspectives with us. And we wish Mr. Bekwa and Mrs. Abraham all the best. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Bye.